What to search for in an ADHD coach, how to find a coach who can lead you to your success by knowing, understanding, and helping you leverage your neurodiversity. In this short video, I want to help you to decide first and foremost, do you need a coach or a therapist? Because that is something that I see most neurovisionary leaders not really knowing and not being able to diversify between the two. And then when we got that one covered, what to search for in an ADHD coach, how to find a coach, and how to make sure that your investment pays off big time. My name is Tana Taylor, and I'm helping neurodiverse visionaries to execute on their potential and succeed in business and in life. Now, I would like to start off with a topic of coach versus therapist, when to seek one and when to look for another. And as a coach myself, and as someone who's been utilizing therapists' help, and someone who's been referring therapists for the last 3.5 years as I was running my global practice, I definitely came to a conclusion then that when we are non-functional or weakly functional, when we suffer depression, anxiety, intense mood swings, emotional roller coaster that really kind of endangers our personal and private, our private and professional life, when we are on an edge, so to speak, this is definitely when we should be seeking out for a therapist, right? Of course, for those of you who are still skeptical when it comes to therapeutical approach, you can seek for someone such as trauma release coach or a shadow worker, but that's more of a healing aspect. And if there is a healing journey to embark on, and a big part of the ADHD is understanding which traumas, big traumas and little traumas, how they call them, although I'm personally not a fan of classifying traumas as big or small. I think that each and every single trauma is incredibly impactful and should not be diminished just because it wasn't gigantic in someone else's eyes. But all that aside, if we're seeking for healing, and if there is healing to occur, understanding more about traumas, understanding more on how to let go of the pain, of the suffering, of the anger, how to regulate ourselves properly, how to regulate our emotions, how to be able to sit with our emotions without going insane. And I would really kind of urge you, if you are weakly functional to non-functional at all, this is definitely where you want to seek out for a therapist, right? You want to seek out for a therapist because this is where this so-called venting needs to occur. There's a lot of things we've been suppressing, disowning, denying, neglecting, and rejecting about ourselves, our neurodiversity, our life, our identity. And what can really come as an immense help, and what is truly transformative, is when someone who is objective, who is educated, who is specialized in ADHD, and who, I always say, opt for a therapist that understands the ins and outs of the somatic work, and someone who hopefully is looking at this neurodiversity, not only ADHD, it can be related to other aspects and to other impairments or to other differentiations such as Asperger's, such as autism. Try to find someone who is looking at all of that holistically, right, and approaching it from the mind, body, soul, energy aspect. Now, when to search for a coach, because once again, therapist is for those moments when you need to go deep within, when you are weakly functional to non-functional at all, when you are maybe struggling with a prevailing anxiety, chronic depression, deep-rooted insomnia, and so when there is a gigantic and massive healing to occur, therapists and therapy is a way to go. Now, in opposition to that, when it comes to coaching is first of all always action-driven, and it is moving forward. And I always like to compare those two approaches, such as fly high and deep dive. We need to deep dive to fly high, and vice versa. So when you have healed to a certain extent, or perhaps if you have healed fully, and you want someone who really understands the ins and outs of the neurodiversity, someone who understands how to utilize hypersensitivity that you've been gifted with and turn it into a strength. Someone who understands the chronic procrastination and what is it actually shielding you from: fear of success, as we said, fear of failure, and inability to change habits on demand, which is quite normal because we need 90 to 120 days anyways to make any behavior habitual and or to change a habit. If you are ready to push a step further, or to flow a step further, better said, and you want someone who is equipped with the knowledge, with the tools, with methods and processes alongside a lifelong experience of ADHD, I always say it's the best if this coach also is an ADHD coach, if they have an ADHD themselves, or if they are neurodiverse themselves, because we can only lead someone as far as we've led ourselves. And this is when you want to search for a coach, where you want to seek for a coach, right? So when you're ready to expand, when you're ready to go, when you're ready to progress with the impact making, when you want to build, when you want to execute on, this is when you seek for a coach. Now, of course, coaching as such, especially transformative coaching, lifestyle coaching, has therapeutic elements. And as a coach for the last 6 years, I've witnessed a lot of similarities. I've observed a lot of similarities between my sessions and those of my colleagues who are official therapists. But the main premise of a coach is to push you out of your comfort zone, right? Think of it as, you're in a football practice. It's always pushing you out of your comfort zone in the most loving, respectable, and understanding way. But still, it's pushing you out of your comfort zone. And for that, there needs to be a certain equilibrium. There needs to be a certain resilience already built, and definitely a specific level of healing needs to occur. Now, how to find an ADHD coach and how to know that this is the right fit. What I would always say, try to vet this person, but what you want to do is you want to meet this coach that you are having that you're planning on working with. So whether or not you can attend his or hers master classes or live events are always the best. Ideally, if you can book a chemistry call, this is how I call them, so because someone can have all the tools under their belt, and someone can have massive experience and expertise, but they just may not be energetically suitable to you, and that is quite all right. We would usually, within the first 5 seconds, we know can we open ourselves up to someone or not. So I would say that this chemistry call is really crucial as this initial step. Now then, try to also Google this coach and try to see does this person have recommendations, referrals, testimonials from other people? Reach out to the people who gave this person testimonials and check them out, vet them out. And last but not least, if you can, and this is the biggest recommendation that I'm going to give, try to have 1 to 2 sessions, just to see how is the process going. Now, of course, transformational coaching is a process, and real, actual, tangible results can only be expected after a certain amount of time has passed. But within the first couple of sessions, 1 or 2 sessions, you're going to get the feel for it, and you're going to see, okay, I'm feeling lighter, more expansive, better, more wholesome after I've spoken to this coach, after I was coached by them. I'm having all these aha moments. I'm having incredible insights. I feel like ready to conquer the world, or ready to finally go with the flow, whatever it is that you're seeking for, and go from there. And don't get forced into buying on the phone. Don't, because nowadays the coaching industry is very slick. The sales processes have been very merciless and predatorial. So you just want to make sure that whichever decision you're making it from your gut. Sleep on it, meditate on it. Don't do it on a whim. It very rarely benefits you. And that would be it. So this was my take on how to diversify between, do you need a coach or do you need a therapist as a neurodiverse visionary, and how to understand is that coach or a therapist that you're seeking a real deal, and is this a person that can actually help you and that will actually help you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying here with me. Drop your comments below. I'm interested to know, did you work with a coach before? Did you work with a therapist before? And what have been your experience, especially as a neurodiverse visionary yourself?